Oh, put this right here, yep. Okay, I'm making another video for the night. Got done reading the Lucis Trust article, and I was talking about the, at the end of it, because the guy in the article or whatever was, talking about how, peace, love, and the United Nations, and, blah, 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 blah. And I talked about how, the United Nations is just a bullshit organization. It's nothing to do with peace at all, right? Just bringing in world government tyranny. And then I talked about how I read in the past how UN peacekeepers, where, have been caught, torturing children and abusing children. So I went to look it up real quick, just so I can make sure that I'm 100%, right? And this came out several years ago, KTLA 5 article, quote, UN peacekeepers accused of raping women and children they were sent to protect. April 6, 2016. The United Nations sent peacekeepers to the war-torn Central African Republic to protect civilians. But more than 100 women, girls, and boys say some of the soldiers raped and abused them, the exact opposite of what the peacekeepers set out to do. Yeah. So, you can go read that. I just wanted to point out that it's a bullshit organization. Wikipedia's got a whole article dedicated to that. Child sexual abuse by UN peacekeepers. Yeah, more than 100 United Nations peacekeepers ran a child sex ring in Haiti. So, yeah, don't give me that about the love and children. Bunch of liars. Make me want to throw up. Garbage. But anyways, I'm continuing with this book here, and I just got a few minutes to go on this, so on this one, then I'll make another one that's about a half hour. Anyways, page 172. We need to look inside the history of the French Revolution and study the subversive groups that actually caused the revolt. History books tells us that the French Revolution first began in 1787 or 1789, depending on which book you read. However, it was actually planned by Dr. Adam Weishaupt in the House of Rothschild almost 20 years before the revolution took place. Dr. Adam Weishaupt produced the blueprint for it, while the House of Rothschild provided the money. This apostle of Lucifer, Adam Weishaupt, was born a Jew, converted to Catholicism, then turned to witchcraft, where he became an expert and founded another sect of the Illuminati. This sect of Illuminati was founded on May 1st, 1776. Like Freemasonry, the Illuminati is a Luciferian movement to preserve and promote the ancient black arts of Babylonian and Druid witchcraft. Its goals are to destroy Christianity and all world governments, and then unite them under a one-world government whose ruler is Lucifer. In the Bible, our Lord chose a priestly order of Israelites to preserve the sacred things of God. In the Old Testament, they were known as the Levites, Numbers chapter 1, verses 47 and 54. The whole nation of Israel was to be a nation of priests, but because of her idolatry, our Lord only chose the children of Levi. The Levites were in charge of the tabernacle of God and all that pertained to it. No one was allowed to set up, move, or perform any service of the tabernacle but the Levites. Those who even touched the Ark of the Covenant, other than a Levite, would suffer death. Like the Levite had his ministry for the chosen people, so had the prophets of God. If any man claimed to be sent from God and predicted things to come, but they didn't happen, this was to be a sign of the Israelites that this man was not of God, and they were to kill him for deceiving the people. It makes me think of all the false prophecies and prophets in the past 4 years or so with Trump. What was that prophecy by that one pastor guy that people use, that he was going to use them for 2 terms, and that's why a lot of people still believe that Trump is somehow gonna handle, he's gonna win over this election, even though it's been said and done that that creep Biden won it. But I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know, but it seemed like after that, it was, yeah, pretty false, false prophecy. Okay. Just as God foretold the future and worked miracles among his people, so does Lucifer have his system of counterfeiting the power of God. And just as God chose a people that would preserve and promote his mystery of godliness, 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16, so has Lucifer chosen a people that would preserve and promote his mystery of iniquity. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. One such priestly order that preserved the ancient black arts of witchcraft was the Druids. There are modern-day orders of this system of witchcraft. As the Levites and prophets were to Israel, so were the Druids to the Celtic peoples. The Celts believed that they were a supernatural people from outer space, and their magical powers were to be preserved through their descendants through the centuries. Much modern English and American witchcraft is modeled from the pagan religious rites and magic of the Druids, who borrowed their crafts from the Egyptian sun worship, which came from the Babylonians and Assyrians. Sacrifices were prominent in Celtic ritual. Human and animal sacrifices took place at their sacred festivals. The Druids held a dominant position in Celtic society, for it was they who invoked the magical powers to ensure prosperity and success. Like the American Indian witch doctor, the Druids often fell into trances in order to forecast events. The modern fraternities of Freemasonry, Rosicrucians, Golden Dawn, Wicca, Church of America, Gardnerian Brotherhood, Church of All Worlds, and Process Church of the Final Judgment, of which Charles Manson was a member, are only a few of the multitudes of witchcraft groups operating today behind the public eye, preserving and promoting ancient witchcraft. However, it was this witchcraft school called the Illuminati of Bavaria that was predicted to make open avowed war on the Bible through the political world. This world power, symbolized as the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit, was predicted to destroy the Bible. 2 witnesses in the street of a city that is spiritually called Sodom in Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Revelation chapter 11, verse 7 and 8. This is not Jerusalem as it has often been interpreted, but Paris, France. During the end of papal supremacy in the 1700s, Adam Weishaupt began to write down his plans to destroy all governments and religions. Atheism was to be used as a tool to destroy the Roman Catholic Church, which then was the controlling power in Europe. Adam Weishaupt's revolutionary force was first launched under the name of the Perfectibilists, which posed as a political movement to destroy tyranny and ignorance and further the cause of reason, freedom, and moral virtue. And I'm going to stop right there. And he's talking about that the great city in Revelation 11, verse 8, is not Jerusalem, but Paris, France. But like I said, this isn't everything regarding the Bible prophecy doesn't reflect what I personally believe about the Bible prophecy. So there's many stuff in here when he's talking about the Bible prophecy I don't necessarily agree with, but it's an interesting read and it's something to still ponder about. So I'm going to make up another video finishing this off. Okay, so